We are on page number 13.
Yes, sir.
Page number 13, second paragraph. Am I right?
Sir, a bit towards the end.
Towards the end. Okay. Pewter plate. Okay. So, we use it for everything. You see, as a child, I had always fancied the apple on the pewter plate, a copper plate that was used for keeping fruits. Apple. So, when I was a little girl, my eyes were there on the pewter plate to get an apple. Suppose not you people, we people, not you people are excellent people. When we people were very, very small, in classes 5 and 6 and all these things, suppose if we go for a marriage or a function, where will be our eyes? Where will be our eyes? Food table, isn't it? Food table, ice cream box. Am I right? And not you people. You people are fed up with eating ice cream and all these things. We people, poor people at that time, once in a blue moon we see ice. At that time, it was like that. Many, many things. I still remember now. When I was studying in a hostel, at that time a guest came there. So at that time when the guest comes, some fruits will be distributed. So at that time, get an orange was something rich. When we go to the church festivals and all these things, their orange will not be sold out. Orange will be opened and its parts will be sold out. One piece from inside. Full orange will not be purchased, bought. Such a time was there. Fruits were very, very precious. Now, you see, one time, Leslie, 1 or 2, 3 apples. We will take it at a stretch, isn't it? Even doctor says, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So we think we can have 3 apples a day, we can keep away 3 doctors away. we can keep 3 doctors away. You see, change of time. So when this girl was very young, at that time this pewter plate was on the table. It was filled with apples and she was curiously attending to that. Here what happens, the girl of this house, number 46 says that we are using this plate for every purpose. We are using this for every purpose. That means they do not know the importance of that plate. Clear now? You see, we use it for everything. She said, once we even ate off the plates hanging there on the wall. You see, we used that hanging plate to have food. Which is that hanging plate? Maybe an antique. People won't use antiques for regular use. Sanjana, am I right? People won't use antiques for regular use. Antiques are kept for show. It has greater importance, greater value. And these people are using for their daily uses antiques. That is the meaning there. We use, once we even ate off the plates hanging there on the wall. I wanted to so much, but it wasn't anything special. I had found the burn mark on the tablecloth. There we stopped, I think so. I had found the burn mark on the tablecloth. The girl looked questioningly at me. Yes, I said, you get so used to touching all these lovely things in the house, you hardly look at them anymore. You only notice when something is missing because it has to be repaired or because you haven't lent it, for example. There we stop. Again, I heard the unnatural sound of my voice, and I went on. Again, I heard the unnatural sound, underline, unnatural sound of my voice. Sanjana, what is unnatural sound of my voice?
The inner voice.
Inner voice, good, inner voice. My inner voice spoke to me, and I went on. I remember my mother once asked me, I went on to remember the words of my mother. What was that? I remember my mother once asked me if I would help her polish the silver. One day, once upon a time, my mother asked me to help her to clean those things, to polish those things. It was a very long time ago, many years ago, and I was probably bored that day, or perhaps I had to stay at home because I was ill, as she had never asked me before. So one day I was bored or I was ill and I was at home at that time. And on that day my mother asked me to polish something, some utensil or something. And thereafter she never told me also. I asked her which silver she meant, and she replied, surprised, that it was the spoons, forks, and knives, of course. You see? My mother, many years ago, one day when I was at home, my mother told me, please polish, clean those utensils or those things. Then I asked Mummy, which things? Then Mummy told, those cutleries, those spoons, forks and knives, silver. And that was the strange thing. I did not know the cutlery we ate of every day was silver. You see, at that time I understood every day we were using silver knife, silver spoon, silver fork for our everyday use. That time only she realized what she were using. The girl laughed again. I bet you don't know it is either. I looked intently at her. She told, you don't know the value of these things. You do not know the value of these things. What we eat with? She asked. Well, do you know? She hesitated. She walked to the sideboard and walked to open a drawer. I will look. It is in here. I jumped up. I was forgetting the time. I must catch my train. So she was the girl at number 46 was eager and curious to show one after another things to show her. At that time, she remembered her train. I jumped up. I was forgetting the time. When we are standing in such a place, we will not remember the time that is past. So she remembered. I was forgetting the time. I must catch my train. She had her hand on the drawer. Don't you want to wait for my mother? Don't you want to wait for my mother? What would be her answer? Anish, what would be her answer? Are you not waiting for my mother? What would be the answer?
No,
No, why?
because she wanted to go.
Because she wanted to catch the train. Sai Vijay, is it correct?
She came to see the things too.
And
She have already seen things
she had already.
in the things.
You see, really you have, this is the question in English in this way. Why did she visit at number 46? Pranav, why did she visit number 46? What was her purpose? Pavitra, what was her purpose of visiting number 46? Can anyone say? Can anyone say try? Guess, try. Who can guess and try? Abhilash, any trial?
So she wanted to see her old things.
She came to 46 to see her own belongings, not to meet your darling. Her purpose was to see things. In the first visit, she told that I do not want to see because they may bring me sad memories. But still, there was a curiosity in her to go and see my things. Inverted comma, my things. There, she saw all her things there. In such a condition, she wanted to go away from there. Clear now? This is the way. It was not her purpose to meet darling. Only purpose was to see the things. By the way, Amal Roshan. I'm very happy to tell you that your handwriting, you have improved a lot. Did you write or somebody wrote? Unmute.
I write.
You wrote. Very good improvement in your writing comparing to last year. Okay, keep it up. Again, you improve it. Okay, tell Papa that Joseph have told you improved your handwriting. Okay, Alan Shibu. Okay, No, I have a special concern for Amal Roshan, isn't it? Okay, so casually it came to my mind. So I jumped up. I was forgetting the time. I must catch my train. I must catch my train. She had her hand on the drawer. Our girl did not wait for that. Don't you want to wait for my mother? No, I must go. My work is over. No, I must go. I walked to the door. The girl pulled the drawer open. I can find my own way. As I walked down the passage, I heard the jingling of spoons, the jingling sound of the spoons and forks, her silver cutlery, the sound of her silver cutlery. At the corner of the road, I looked up at the nameplate. So when she walked out of the house, the road reached a T. T means T-shape, T junction. From there, she looked back. She saw Marconi Street. It was written there, Marconi Street. It had been at number 46. So the address was correct. Marconi Street, number 46. The address was correct. Underline, Marconi Street, number 46. The address was correct. But now, I did not want to remember it anymore. Underline. Because the memories of number 46 gives me pangs. What do you mean by pangs, Rahul? What do you mean by pangs? Not pants, pangs. Pain of the heart. Suppose I love you so much. I love you so much. And if you quarrel with me, what will I have? What will I have? Suppose if I love you so much. Suppose no, I love you so much. And if you do not follow my words, what will I have? I will have the pangs. I will cry for you. Understood? I will cry for you. That cry is known as pangs. If you lose 1 mark, if you lose 1 question, 1 MCQ loss, sometimes I may reach in front of your gate with a cane, sometimes. Okay, so the address was correct. But now I didn't want to remember it, because if I remember, I will feel pain again and again. The memories of those things will bring. I wanted to forget it. I do not want to remember those things. I wouldn't go back there, because the objects that are linked in in your memory with the familiar life of former times instantly lose their value when... Yes? Who called me? Somebody called me? Or my inner voice called me? I heard a voice. Sir, okay. If you are not there, sometimes I told you, when I love you so much, your inner voice may come into my heart and call me, sir. Maybe like that, isn't it? I don't know whose voice is there. I will know. I will know later. Okay. So I will check my previous moments, then I will be able to know who remembered me at this moment. Okay. So I wouldn't go. This is Josie sir. Okay. So I wouldn't go back there, because the objects that are linked, connected in your memory with the familiar life of former times instantly lose their value when severed from them. You see them again in strange surroundings. You see, this is the life. These lines you have to understand. Suppose you lived with me, studied with me 5 years or 6 years, 4 years. Oh, when you are studying here, Aparna, when you are studying here up to +2, board exam, oh, Joshi sir, yes. And I also believe that, oh, these children are loving me very much. And after 12th, no address. You see, after 12th, if there is no address, I won't try to get that address again, because this is the reason. You see, once upon a time, that is, let us come to the lesson. Once upon, because my mobile carries all the phone numbers of the students whom I taught. Whom I taught. So if you forget me, still I will remember you. You can expect a call wherever you are, even though you are at the corner of the world. So you see, here she says, once upon a time before the war, these things were a part of my life. Those things had life. They were not packed in boxes. They were part of her life. Those things had life. And with the war, those things were severed from her. No, that is not severed. That is severed. Severed means separated. Severed there means separated from them. She was severed. You see, especially girls' children. After the marriage, you means girls will be going from their own house to husband's house. Separated from their parents to parents-in-laws. So at that time, there will be, Alan smiles, there will be a cry, isn't it? Nowadays nobody is crying. Earlier when we see, when the girl child is handed over to the in-laws' hands, mother will cry. Why? The daughter is separated from her life. Separated from her life. Severed. In this way, these things were very closely connected with her life. These spoons and forks and antiques had a life when it was in her house. Now, these things were separated, cut off. So there is a pang of separation. And she had forgotten it. Now she doesn't want to go and bring into her memory about those things. Because there it was considered as things. It was her. That is why she felt it has life. Suppose if you have purchased, bought something with your own cash, your own pocket money, and another thing was given by somebody else, which will have the value greater? Which has the greater value? Kevin, which will have greater value? You consider. One you have bought with your own money, your own pocket money. One is a gift given by somebody. Which is valuable?
What we earn by ourselves.
Bought by yourself, because it is your money. It is related to your life. And suppose if you are giving From these two things, one as a gift to somebody, which one will you will give? Which you got gift, isn't it? That you will give. That is not related to you. Clear now? That same principle is told here. You see? Instantly lose their value and life. Till yesterday I considered you as my daughter. Today onwards, you are separated from my life. You are severed from my life and you are given to somebody. Today onwards, you are not mine. Till yesterday, these things were with me. It had life. Now I see those things lifeless in somebody's house. It gives me pain. You see, and what should I have done with them in a small rendered room where the shreds of blackout paper still hung along the windows and no more than a handful of cutlery fitted in the narrow table drawer. Now I don't have a house. I am living in a small rendered room. That room itself is with a smokish glare of the wall that is not neat and clean. And if I take these things, where shall I keep them? I don't have the place. So secondly, I don't want to take these things because I will not be able to afford it, maintain it. That cannot become a part of my life. Since there are no space, I will have to tie them, pack them and keep it there. So I cannot do like that. So that is why she does not want to visit the place again. One, she had the pang of seeing the things which are used as things there. They were not, you properly used it, number one. Secondly, if she reacquires, she has no place to make it alive. That is why with a great or a heavy heart, she returned from there. You see, and what should I have done with them in a small rendered room? Underline, in a small rendered room where the shreds of blackout papers, shades of blackout papers, the smoky grayish color still hung along the windows, and no more than a handful of cutlery. I have only one spoon and fork fitted the narrow table drawer. I resolved, I decided. Resolve means resolution. Resolved to forget the address. I want to forget the address of all the things I had to forget. That would be the best. That would be the best. I want to forget it. It is better that I should forget it. This is the address. This is the address. Here we end the lesson and read the lesson once again. You have to read the lesson once again today. Today, read the lesson once again. When the class is over, you have to read the lesson once. Then only you will be able to understand the inner meanings to study literature. Okay. Shall I end the meeting? Thank you.